Hi everyone, Salesforce Admin Training Day 18. Let's see what we are going to learn today. So we'll quickly go through the previous session overview and then we'll talk about the requirement and we'll see what are the users in Salesforce. Then we'll talk about the navigation steps to create a user and then we'll talk about the reset password for user and also we'll talk about how to add a multiple users in the Salesforce. What is the password policies? And then how to freeze a user. Can we delete the user or not? And then we will talk about the assignments. Then finally, we'll have a today interview questions. So these are the topics that we are going to see today. And what did we learn in the last session?
Custom without using letterhead, HTML tags, Lightning email templates.
Right. So we have discussed about the Lightning email template. And then what in classic email template, we have seen the different type of how to create a different type of email templates. Now, today we are going to talk about the users. Before talking about the users, let's say the requirement. Let's say the requirement is, assume that we have received a requirement from the client saying that add a new user in the Salesforce. The requirement is add the new user in Salesforce. And whenever the client says that add a new user in Salesforce, that means they need to provide certain information. Which user we need to add it into the Salesforce and what is the level of access we should be giving to the user is provided by the client, like username. They will provide a user first name is Virat and then user last name is Kohli. And the email ID, they will provide what is the email ID and what level of access. Whether it is an admin access or a different access, they will say that. Now, in this case, it is an admin access, and also we will collect the, in case if they wanted to store the mobile number, we can also store the mobile number inside the system. So this is the requirement we have received it from the Salesforce. We have received it from the client to create a users into the Salesforce org. Whenever we have to create a users within the Salesforce, now, first of all, what is the user? We need to understand what is the user. User in Salesforce is nothing but a user can, anyone who logs into the Salesforce. That means I have a Salesforce org. I have a Salesforce org. There is a Salesforce org is there. Now in this Salesforce org, if I wanted to log into this org, if I want to log into this org, I need a credentials. I need a credentials. When I say credentials is nothing but somebody has to create a user within the org. Once a user is created, then the credentials gets created, right? So once the credentials are created, using that credential, we can log into the Salesforce. So user is nothing but anyone who wants to log into the Salesforce, they should have a user within the Salesforce org. So users are could be an employee at the company or could be a client internal team or could be a managers, could be a IT specialist, could be a business analyst.
बोलते बैठता हूँ सब आगे फिर आराम को ऐसे बोल के ले लिया हूँ साली ने बोले तो अपनी जगह के दे दो तुम राइट.
So could be anybody. So like a manager or IT specialist, or it could be a different person. But when I say different person, the person is need to log into the Salesforce. So whoever is required a Salesforce access, they should have a users into the Salesforce. Could be a within the same company, could be a client company, or could be a third party team. Whoever wants to have a access, they should have a credentials. In order to create a credentials, we should create a user. We should create a user. Now, in order to create a user in Salesforce, now the navigation steps is set up administration and the user. Setup, administration, users. Take a notes of it, users in Salesforce. Done taking the notes. Now, so the navigation steps are setup, administrator, and the user. That means we have to click on a setup, and once we click on a setup, administration, then there we have a users. Now, once we go to this page, we can see all the users. We can see all the users who are having the access. Now, in the real time, they will ask you that whenever we go for an interview, or sometimes client will ask you, how many users are there in the Salesforce app? If they wanted to know how many users are there within the Salesforce, then they need to go for a step setup administrator user. Now let's go here, setup administration. Setup administration users, and then we have a users tab. Users tab. Now inside this users tab, we can see right now we have a 4 users. Right now we have a 4 users. Now we can see here who are the active users. Who are the active users we can see here. Whenever the checkbox is true, that means these users are the active users. They can log into the Salesforce org. They can log into the Salesforce org. Now, whenever they log into this Salesforce org, what is the username? So this is the username. That means whenever we log into the Salesforce, there is a username and password we have to enter, right? So that username is this username they have to enter. If it is active, then only they will be able to log into the Salesforce org. And this is a kind of a alias. It will automatically taken, and the full name of the user, which is nothing but a first name and last name. And every user should be associated to the profile. Every user is associated to the profile, because it is going to decide it what level of access, what kind of access we are giving at the object level or a field level can be decided at the profile level. Can be decided at the profile level. In case if you wanted to modify anything, you have an action here, edit button. By clicking on this edit button, you can edit the user here. You can edit the user. But when you click on the edit button, for example, I'm clicking on the edit button on the user integration. Now, when I click on the edit button on the user integration, we have a flexibility to modify the first name, last name, anything we can modify it, or else I can change the profile also, I can change it. Now, but do not change the username. Do not change the username. Now you can change the username if it is a really needed, but as per the standard, don't change it. Now, sometimes what happens is we might have to change the email ID. No, that's okay. You can change the email ID, but username, don't change it. Username, do not change it. So username is the one, whenever we are creating a new user, that time we will specify the username. Now using this username, we will log into the Salesforce. So you can modify everything, whatever the active ones are there, we can modify it. What are the deactive checkboxes are there, those we cannot modify. Those we cannot modify, but apart from that, you cannot we have a editable option for the username, but do not change anything on the username. You can change the first name, last name, alias is automatically taken. But if you want to change the alias, then you can change it. Email address also, you can modify it, but do not touch the username. Now, in case if you wanted to modify anything here, you can modify the details. So this is about the editing the user. Now let's suppose that we have a scenario that we need to create a new user. The requirement we have got to create a new user. So when we say new user, that means I need to click on a new button. I click on new button. We have an option here, new user. When we click on the new user button, now it opens up it takes us to a window called new user. Now, when we go to the new user, there are a couple of fields which we can see mandatory. Now, wherever the red mark is there, that means those are mandatory fields. Those are mandatory fields. Like whenever we are creating the new user, we need to specify the first name, last name, alias is automatically taken. We need to provide the valid email ID. We need to provide the valid email ID. Valid email ID, the working email ID could be a Gmail ID or could be a company ID, but it has to be a valid email ID. You have to provide it. Username could be a different. Email and username could be same or could be a different, right? So username is when you log into the Salesforce, by using the which username you are logging into the Salesforce. Email is just to cross verify that you have provided the valid information. Tomorrow, if there is any problem, they can send an email to this email. Username is just to logging into the Salesforce. It is going to help in order to log into the Salesforce username. And the nickname is automatically taken. You need not to worry. In case if it is not taking it, just enter the whatever the nickname you want, right? And then we have a roles. We have a role, username, and the profile. Now we'll talk about this part, role, username, profile. Because whenever we are creating the new user, license is mandatory, profile is mandatory. License is mandatory and the profile is mandatory. Now every user should be associated to a license. Without license, we cannot create a user. Let's assume that this is the Salesforce org. Let's say that this is the Salesforce org. Now inside this Salesforce org, whenever the Salesforce org is created, Salesforce is going to suggest us that how many licenses we can use it for the user in order to create a user. How many licenses are available for this org, right? So where can we see that how many licenses are available? If you go to the company information, if you go to the company information, in the company information, it is going to show you that how many licenses we can utilize it for this org. Now go to the company information. Here it is the user license. User license. So we have a total 24 user licenses are there. So these are the license. Like a Salesforce license, I can create a 2 licenses, right? So customer community, I can create a 5. Now similarly, we have a Salesforce platform, we can create a 3. Now Salesforce is going to tell us that how many licenses we can create it. There are different type of licenses are there, like a Salesforce license, like Salesforce license, and then community license, and then Salesforce platform license, Salesforce platform license, Salesforce platform license, and then we have a identity license, identity license. So we have so many licenses. It's all depending on the org, right? So we have a different type of org. Right now we are working on the Salesforce developer org, right? So if you search in the Google Salesforce org details or edition, if you search Salesforce edition and pricing, Now, if you search in the Google like edition, Salesforce edition types or a Salesforce editions and price, based on that, it is going to show you the information. Like we have a essential, starter, professional, enterprise, unlimited, developer. Let's say edition type and pricing. Now, let's say Salesforce, Sales Cloud, pricing and editions. Now, here it is. So these are the different clouds. We have it in the, these are the different editions which are available inside the Salesforce. Now, Salesforce Developer Edition is a free. There is a no charge on that. Now, starter is there. If you want to go for a starter edition, you can go for a starter edition. Now, that pricing is $25 per user and per month. And the professional is a $75 per user per month. Similarly, enterprise edition is a $150 per month per user. And unlimited is a $300 per user per month. Now, these are the different editions are there. Similarly, we have a Salesforce Developer Edition. Now, in the Salesforce Developer Edition, the Salesforce is providing these are the licenses which are provided. 24 licenses it is provided by the Salesforce for the Developer Edition. Similarly, for the Enterprise Edition, there are different licenses are provided. Unlimited, there are different licenses are provided. Now, how they are going to decide it, which license do we need to provide it? So basically, Salesforce is going to have a discussion with client. Salesforce is going to discuss with the client. Now, what is the purpose of the licenses? What is the purpose of the licenses? What you wanted to implement in the org? So based on the discussion, they will provide certain licenses to the client. Now, these licenses, every org should have a licenses, right? So whether it is an enterprise edition, whether it is an unlimited edition, or whether it is a developer edition, every org should have a license. Now, this license is going to decide it how many users can be created. This license is going to decide how many users can be created. Now, how can I know that? If you go to the company information, now it says that, for example, Salesforce is the license, which is the admin license. Now it is active, and how many licenses are there? 2 licenses. That means I can create 2 users. Out of 2 users, 1 user is already used. Who is that one user? Now, the one which I'm logged in. That is the June batch. So this June batch is already using the license, which is a Salesforce license. If I go to the user level of the June batch, let's go to the user details. Now, inside this user details, I have a user license, which is a Salesforce. So that is already used. Now, remaining only 1 license is there. That means I can create 2 users. Similarly, Salesforce platform, I can create 3 users. 3 licenses are available. That means I can create 3 users. Out of 3 users, how many users are already created? There is no used. That means we have not created any user for Salesforce platform. So left is 3 licenses are left. That means I can create 3 users. So license is going to tell us that how many users can be created. So it is going to mention in the company information, like a Salesforce license, how many we can create 2 licenses we can create it. That means user 1, user 2. Community, I can create it around 15 users. Let's assume that we can create around 15 users. Similarly, Salesforce platform, I can create 3 Salesforce platform in the developer edition. Similarly, identity license, I can create 2 identity license. Now, every license has a certain meaning. Every licenses is having a certain meaning. Now, whether you are creating this license is going to tell us that how many users we can create it. That is totally fine. But why do we have so many licenses in the Salesforce? What is the purpose of having so many licenses? The purpose of having this license here is it is going to decide org level. The org level, the user license here that determines which feature the user can access inside the Salesforce. Which feature can be accessed within the Salesforce is basically decided by the license. Now, user license is a user license determines which feature the users can access in the Salesforce. Now, let's say Salesforce license. Now, we have a different licenses. Right now, I'm going to explain only few licenses. For example, Salesforce license, customer community license, partner community license, right? Salesforce platform license, identity licenses. Like this, there are so many licenses are there, but the mostly used in the real time, these are the one. Now, Salesforce license is nothing but it provides the full access to the standard CRM and the app exchange. That means Salesforce license means admin access. They can access the everything. They can access all the details inside the Salesforce. It's similar to the admin access. Salesforce is admin access. That means it provides the full access to the user. Whereas customer community is sometimes now in Salesforce, there are different characters are there. In Salesforce, we have a different characters. Now, when I say different characters, now we have in Salesforce, different teams are available. Different teams are available. This is the development team. This is development, admin, or whoever is the internal team is there, the internal team. Now, this one is a client. This one is client. And there are few customers who wants to log into the Salesforce in order to perform certain action. And then we have a completely end user. They do not have a credentials yet. They are still end users. They are still end user. That means they are trying to access certain information from the website, but we have not created any users for them. So these are the different users are there. Now, when I say developer or a development or a admin or a BA, they need a complete Salesforce access. That means they need a admin access. When they want a admin access, if they want a admin access, then we have to provide the Salesforce access. We have to provide the Salesforce license. If I provide the Salesforce license, they will get a full access to the system or full access to the Salesforce. Now, there are few members who are the customers. Customers does not need a full access to the Salesforce. They do not need a full access to the Salesforce. They just need a access to the certain objects, like they need a access to the case, or they need a access to the knowledge article, right? So certain information they wanted to see. They do not want to see all the information. In that case, what type of a license we will give? We will give a license of customer community. Customer community. Right? So there is a customer community. So customer community is nothing but business to customer experience. Now, business to customer experience is nothing but there are a few customers for the business and they are like a regular customer. They always go to the site and they cross verify and they will raise the tickets. So, and they are the one who usually log into the system and they are the part of the some actions, whatever is happening in the system. Now, business to customer experience with the large number of external users who need access to the case object or a knowledge, then we will go for a customer community. That means customer community can be used with person account. Person account, it has to be created with the person account. If you have a person account, Now, simple example. Now, the example is I want to open the bank account or I wanted to check something in the bank, right? So maybe loan details, or let's take another scenario, Amazon. Now I have a Amazon, right? In the Amazon, now I do not have a credentials in the Amazon, but still I can open. Still I can open. I'm the end user and the end user for Amazon. Now I can open the Amazon and check the products, everything I can do it. Everything I can do it. But if I have some access to the certain part of Amazon, I do not have access to I do not want the complete access to the Amazon because I'm not going to develop the code or implement a product. I'm not going to implement a product. Only the thing which I need is to buy certain products, I need a credentials. Now that credentials and the access which I need to verify the certain product information. I do not need a complete information. Now that time what I'll request is, I'll request them to create a credentials or I'll create a credential. As soon as I create a credential, I'm the customer for the Amazon. I'm the customer for the Amazon, where I can go to the Amazon by logging into the credential, by entering the credential. I can log into the Amazon and I can cross verify, or if I have any problem with the product, I can raise a ticket, or if there are any offers, I usually get the offers, or if there is any other activities, I can perform the other activities in the Amazon. Only I can do those all things if I am the customer. Right? Amazon Prime, anything if I wanted to create it. If I'm the customer, then I have a flexibility to do that, right? So that is business to customer. When we have a business to customer, that means I need to create a credential for the Amazon website, but that is just a person account I'm creating it. I'm just creating the person account. Now, based on the person account, we will be assigning the customer community to the customer. Whoever is the customer is there, we will provide a license of customer community. That means they have a only certain object access. With that certain object access, they can perform whatever the actions needs to be done. The next one is a partner community. Partner community is nothing but a business to business experience. Customer community is nothing but business to customer. Partner community is nothing but business to business experience. When we have a business to business experience, now partner community needs some additional access, which they wanted to cross verify some more objects, which we do not want to show those objects to the customers. But we need those objects to be visible for the another business. So when we have a business to business, that time what we will do is we will assign the partner community license to the user, and this license is we will assign it. It is not depending on the any person account. Partner community does not depend on any person account. And the next one is Salesforce platform. Now Salesforce platform is Salesforce license, Salesforce platform license. There are two licenses are there. Salesforce license is full access, we are providing it. Salesforce platform license is nothing but it's just a lightning platform license, and we will provide only custom object access. We will not provide any standard object. That means lead, opportunity, contact, case, campaign, those standard objects, it will not be provided for the Salesforce platform. So Salesforce platform it's just a lightning platform license that allow the user to access the custom application or a custom objects, but it does not give access to the CRM functionality. Whatever the standard CRM functionality is there, it will not give the access to the standard CRM functionality. Next one is a identity license. Identity license is nothing but, now let's say when you log into the LinkedIn, or let's say let's say you are logging into the Naukri, right? So whenever you log into the Naukri, so what you will suggest, there is an option it will give you that, do you want to log in with the Gmail user? Do you want to log in with the Gmail user? That means by default, auto sign on will be enabled, right? So if I say that login with the Gmail user, then it will automatically capture the Gmail user information, user and password, and it will try to log into the Naukri or a LinkedIn or any other social media. You can log in. Now, similarly, in the Salesforce also, if you wanted those kind of there are few users. There are few users like a Salesforce identity. If we enable the Salesforce identity license for the few users, they will log into the Salesforce single sign-on without requiring the CRM licenses. Without needing the CRM license, they can log into the Salesforce, but they will have a only certain level of access. They will not have all the access. Now, take a notes of it. Okay, apart from this, we have so many other licenses also. We have so many other licenses. It's almost same, but mostly in the real time, we will use the Salesforce license, community user licenses, either customer community or a partner community, right? So there is a partner community login, similarly customer community login, or a customer community plus. There are different type of will be there. So almost same, but only the login plus will have a additional access to the users. So these are the one which we will use it mostly in the real time. Now let's go ahead and create a user. Now, if I'm clicking on this new user, when I click on a new user, automatically it will ask you that what is the type of user license if you want to go for it. Identity license or a Salesforce integration, Salesforce platform, work.com only. There are different type of licenses out there. Now, right now we wanted to go for a Salesforce license because the requirement says that the user, Virat Kohli user, should have access to the complete admin access, full access should be there. Now, the full access means the license which we need is Salesforce license. How many users can I create with the Salesforce license? Only one is left. If I create a one right now, now here it will display the 0 licenses left. And used is 2 is going to be used. Now I'm going to create a license here. I'm going to use a license Salesforce. License is Salesforce. Now the next one is a role. Now there are different type of roles are available. There are different type of roles are available. But what is the role here? Now let's understand what is the role. Role is determines what user can see. What user can see in the Salesforce. roles determines what user can see in the Salesforce based on the where they are located in the role hierarchy. Based on the role hierarchy. That means where they are located inside the role hierarchy. For example, let's say that we have a manager. Now, in the IT company, we have a managers. Now we have a team lead, right? So let's say senior member, senior developer, and developer and the junior, right? So this is the structure will be there. This is the structure will be there. Now here, senior dev and junior will be reporting to the team lead. They will be reporting to the team lead. Now team lead is reporting to the manager, right? So this is the role hierarchy. I'm talking about the role. On top level, we have a manager. On top level, we have a CEO. CEO, CTO, or a different VP is there, right? So VP is reports to CEO. Now, in the role hierarchy, at the high level, CEO is there. Then we have a VP, then we have a manager, team lead, senior dev, junior. Now, if you look at this role hierarchy, now based on this role hierarchy, CEO is having the most flexibility to what this user can see everything. The CEO user can see everything. Now, whereas a junior cannot see anything. Junior will have a very less, or a dev will have a very less access what is the data or what is happening in the company. They will know very less information. Team lead will know a little bit more because in the hierarchy level, they are on top of the juniors. Now, team lead might be knowing the more information. Then manager will be knowing the more information. Now, if, for example, if we want to pass a certain information to the junior or company developers, now first thing is that CEO will know the information what needs to be passed to the company. Now CEO will be passing to the VP, right? So VP will be passing the information to manager. Now manager will know everything here, whereas team lead does not know. Now, once the manager passes the information to the team lead, then only the team lead will know the information. So the level of access, the level of information or the level of data which they can see is decided by the role hierarchy. So role hierarchy decides it, or role determines what user can see in the Salesforce based on the hierarchy. Based on the hierarchy, where they are placed inside the hierarchy, based on that, it will be decided what they can see. Now, example, user at the top of the hierarchy can see all the data owned by the user below them. That means CEO can see everything below whatever is happening by the VP, manager, team lead, or a junior members, whatever is happening inside the low level, everything that the person can see the information. And the second one is users at the lower level cannot be see data owned by users above them, right? So low level members cannot see the data that is on the higher level data. They cannot see the information. They cannot see the information. So role is basically determines what users can see. Now, if you wanted to see what are the roles are available, now type here roles. Now you can open these roles. When you open the roles, no, this is the hierarchy. We have a different type of a hierarchy is there. Let's assume that company size based sample. Now in the company size at the top level, we have a CEO, CFO, VP sales, right? Now CEO, below that we have a director, below that we have a representative, right? So representative is reporting to the, director is handling it. Now similarly here, this is the marketing director, is below that we have a marketing representative. Now here, sales director, below that we have a sales representative. Now representative will have the less access to or a less data they can see. Now directors can see more information. Now CEO can see all the information because they are at the top level. Similarly, product-based samples, similarly the territory-based samples, everything is same. Now, if you do not want to see this page, check this, do not show this page again. Otherwise, just click on the setup roles. When you click on the setup roles, this is the company name. This is the company name. In the company information, whatever the name is available, that's exactly the same name. The organization name is Swapna IT. That's exactly the name which will be displayed at the top of the role hierarchy. Now, inside that we have a CEO. Now, if you want to see more information, below that, just click on a expand. Just click on a expand. Now, below this, we have a CEO. No, below this, we have a CEO. Below CEO, we have a CFO, COO, SVP, SVP Human Resource, SVP Sales Marketing, right? So, and if you open the marketing one, inside this, again, you have a VP International Sales, Marketing, and North American Director, and a Western. Now, this Western sales team has a very less access, very less data they can see. Whereas CEO can see most information. After that, SVP can see most of the information. Western sales team does not have a most of the access. Does not have a most of the access. Right? So these are the information which are available. Now this is about the role. This is about the role. Now let's say here, the second one, whenever we are creating the role. Now, whenever we are creating the user, role is not mandatory. It says here, red mark, but it is not mandatory. It is not mandatory. Without specifying the role, also you can create a user. But here it says that mandatory. Now we will see that the next one is a profile. Profiles determines what user can do in Salesforce. What user can do in Salesforce. Profiles determines what user can do in Salesforce. Roles are what user can see. Roles are what user can see. Whereas profile is nothing but it will determine what user can do in Salesforce. What is the user can do in Salesforce is decided by the profiles. What user can see is decided by the roles. Right? So here in the profiles, profiles is basically determines what user can do in Salesforce. Now, profile is a set of permissions. What it contains in the profile? Profile contains a set of permissions which we want to grant the access to the object, fields, tabs, or record. Now, if you wanted to see what is the available inside the profile, now click on here, search for a profile. Search for profiles. Now here, let's go to the profile. Now inside this profile, now there are so many profiles which are provided by the Salesforce. Salesforce is providing the standard profiles. Now there are so many profiles it is provided. And they are saying that permissions on the profiles are moving. You are probably used to going to the profile page to determine the object. So Salesforce is planning to move out this. Some updates they might be doing it. Now they are moving the permission sets, profile information into the permission set. Okay. Now we'll see that later. Now we are going to go for a profiles. So let's go for a profile. Now inside this profile, now there are so many profiles are provided by the Salesforce. So by default, Salesforce is providing 39 profiles, which includes the custom and standard, Now here, how do I know that which profile? Profile name is this one, and this is the user license. And profile is also linked to the license. Profile is also linked to the license. Without license, we cannot create a profile. And this is going to decide it whether it is a custom profile or a standard profile. Wherever the checkbox is false, that means those are the standard profiles. If the checkbox is true, that means they are the custom profiles. Custom profiles also provided by the Salesforce. There are at least 4 custom profiles which is provided by the Salesforce. Now here we have a different profiles which are available. Now let's go ahead with the system administrator. Now let's click on the system administrator. When you click on the system administrator, now what are the level of access that we can decide it inside the profile? Now inside the profile, you can do the object level, right? Profile is having the field level security. Do you want to see the fields of the particular object? Everything we can define it, right? So this is what user can do and see. Basically, if you say here, now if you go to the field level security, now we will cover this later, but right now I just wanted to show you that. Now what user can do here? Now this is the account object. In the account object, we have a field name, field type, right? So what user can do? User can read this particular field. Let's say that user can read the customer priority. User can edit the customer priority. Similarly, user can read the TUNS number, but they cannot edit that text field, right? So similarly, we have a industry or a is client valid. Is client valid field can be readable, but they cannot edit it. Whoever is having access to this profile, they cannot edit this particular field value. They can read the field value, but they cannot edit the field value. Right? So which will decide it what user can do, whether user can read the data, whether user can edit the field data or not. Everything is decided inside the system administrator. Now also that is the field level. Similarly, if you want to see the object level, what are the objects can be editable by the user, or what are the objects can be created, read or updated, whatever the actions are there, whether they can do it or not. Now this is the standard object permission, whether the user can read, they can create a account, or they can edit the account, they can delete the account, they can view all the information, modify all the information, can they edit it or not, is decided in the profile. Whether it is a standard or a custom, you can decide it. Now, if you want system administration, usually system admin will have a complete access. So that's the reason the user can have all the access here. All the access is there. Now, similarly, tab, whether they can access or not, all the tabs, they can verify it or not. Everything they can cross verify. So this is a general user permission, and then administrative permissions. Then we have a record type settings. Now, whether the tab setting, do they have a tab setting available or not? Whether the tab setting is default on or a default off, or it is a hidden, right? So whether it is a hidden, tab hidden, now everything can be decided in the profile level. So profile level, we have a object level. We can decide it what user can do. Field level, we can decide it what user can do. And we can also declare what objects can be created or read by the user. CRUD operation, what are the objects can be done by the user, the CRUD operation. And then similarly, what are the tabs they can do it. And also inside the page layout, we can decide it which page layout the user can see. So these are the information which they can define it, here. Also at the profile level, we will have a certain access. Now, we can also have so many options. We will see that later. There are so many options are there like a login IP ranges, right? This we will see later. For now, we are going to cover object fields, right? In the object fields tab and page layout, this everything can be covered inside the profile. So profile is the one which is a set of permission set which grants the access to the particular object, fields, tabs, and records. And also profile is the one can be decided whether each user can have how many profiles. So usually user can have only one profile. One user can have one profile. One user will be associated to the only one profile. So select the profile based on what are the user job function. Now usually the client is going to tell us that what is the access level we should be expecting for that user. Based on that, we will be providing the profile. We will be assigning the profile. So profile is depending on the user license. Depending on the user license. Now, if you say here while creating the user, if you say Salesforce, it is going to show you that system administrator, standard user, these all profiles it is going to display. But if I select charter free license, it is not going to show me the system administrator. So based on this license, I can see the different profiles. Based on this license, I can see the different profiles. If I select a license Salesforce, I can see these all profiles are available associated to this license. If I select the Salesforce platform license, then I have only one profile which is called as a Salesforce platform user. If I select a charter free, then I have a profiles which are called as a charter free user, charter moderate user. Now it's all depending on what type of a license we can access. So that is decided inside based on the license, we can select the profile. Based on the license, we can select the profile. So while creating the user, we have to select first license, and then based on the license, then the second step is we need to create a profile. Now, for example, I'm going to create a user here. Now, while creating the user, now the user is Virat, right? So the user is, the requirement we got it is user Virat Kohli. Now, as soon as I enter or a tab out, alias will be automatically taken. Now, email ID, which I need to specify valid email ID. Let's say samskarit@gmail.com. samskarit@gmail.com. As soon as I have clicked on the tab, then immediately the username and the nickname will be automatically taken. Now, usually username, so usually email and username both are different, or it could be a same. So in the real time, we will have a username is a completely different, because in the real time, we will have a different org, like a different sandboxes will be there. So those different sandboxes is based on like a dev sandbox, QA sandbox, right? So UAT sandbox or a production sandbox, right? We will have a different sandboxes. So for each sandbox, we will have a different username. Now let's say here my org is dev org. So I'll be specifying the username is samskariti@gmail.com.dev. Or else if I wanted to create a new one, I can create a new one also. I can create a new one also. Let's say that here it is. Let's say vk vk@gmail.com.dev. So this is the username and the email ID is samskarit@gmail.com. And this is the nickname. Now those are the information which is, these are the information, mandatory information. Now role, I'm not specifying the role. Role, I'm not specifying it. Now here active checkbox is true. Active checkbox is true. So when it is a true, that means we are going to create a active user. We are going to create a active user, right? And then we have a few other information like a marketing user, offline user, knowledge user, right? So we have a few more informations. We have it. We have a few more information. Now we will talk about this later, but right now, whenever you are creating the user, just cross verify the what are the mandatory information, enter that mandatory information. Enter the mandatory information, keep as it is, whatever the enable one is there, disable one is there. I'm not changing anything right now. Okay. And then the mailing address. If you have a mailing address, you can specify the mailing address. Or else if you have a mobile phone number. If you have a mobile phone number, just specify the mobile phone number. Let's say 5545 678345. So some number, I'm specifying the mobile number here. And if you want a mailing address to be decided here, you can enter the mailing address. And then single sign on the information. What are the single sign on is there? Just a second. Sorry. So here mailing address, we need to specify the mailing address in case if you want the mailing address to be captured, then we have to enter the mailing address and the single sign-on information in case if you are, this is usually in the real time whenever we wanted to log in with a certain information or a by default with the company email ID, I wanted to log into the Salesforce, then we will use the single sign-on. And then we have a approver setting. In case if you want a manager to be approved, for example, we are sending some information, right? So if for this user, if you wanted to attach the manager, if you want to, now this person has to be approved, right? So in case if this person is not available or on top of this person, there is another user, we need it. So in that case, we need to specify another manager name. Another manager name. So that manager name we have to specify it. So right now I'm not specifying the manager. Now let's click on it, save. It says that only if I'm the approver. Now this, okay. So this user is already exist. Somebody is already created in the another Salesforce organization. So whenever we are creating the username, the Salesforce is going to cross verify is this username is available anywhere in the different Salesforce org. Not only this Salesforce org, it is going to check all the Salesforce org. If there is this particular one is available in any of the Salesforce org, then it will immediately says that this user is already present in the another org. Now I'll say that pk12@gmail.com. Now the user is created with the active checkbox and the role we have not specified any role. And the license is Salesforce license. Profile is system administrator. Profile is system administrator. So each user will be associated to the single profile and license. Every user will be associated to the license and profile. And based on the license selection, profiles will be displayed. Based on the license selection, profiles will be displayed. That means profile is dependent on the license. Profile is dependent on the license. Now, this is how we create a user in the Salesforce. This is how we create a user in the Salesforce. Now, take a notes of it. Then we will see. This is a single user creation. This is single user creation. Now, if I wanted to create a multiple users, now take a notes of it. Then we will see. Take in the notes.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
This is Abdul. I have a doubt, ma'am, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in real time, which license companies purchase, ma'am, actually? Usually, which in Salesforce companies, whoever purchase, what kind of license they purchase, ma'am?
Usually in the real time, we will have a community licenses, partner community, customer community, Salesforce platform, Salesforce license, and also they will take the read-only access, identity access. So it's all depending on how the clients want and the Salesforce license.
For example, if I give the interview in future, so then is it a interview question like
You can specify that we have these many licenses, like a Salesforce license, community licenses, and community platform license, and identity licenses. So you can specify this.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so you can specify in the interview that we have a Salesforce license, Salesforce platform license, and the community license, partner community license, customer community license, and charter free license, identity license, and the read-only license. Salesforce, Salesforce platform license, and customer community license, and partner community license, and then identity license, and charter free license, read-only license. These are the different licenses we use it. You can specify this in the interview. Clear?
Okay, ma'am. And what about the profiles, ma'am? Actually has.
Profiles, it's no, there is no such kind of a thing like a profiles. It's all developer will be doing the they will be providing these profiles. Salesforce will be providing these profiles like whatever I have shown here. Now, if you go to the profile, let's go to this profile page. Now, in the profile, Salesforce by default provide the profiles, but in the real time, we hardly use the standard profiles. So all the real time, we will create our own custom profiles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now let's move on. Now, for example, if I wanted to create a multiple users, now here, whenever I want to create a user, so what we have done, we went to the users, right? So we went to the users tab and we clicked on the users here, and then we clicked on the new user. Let's assume that I wanted to create a 10 users. Requirement is to create a 10 users. If I wanted to create a 10 users, now I need to create a new user first time and enter the information and click on the save button. Again, I need to click on the new user, right? Again, I need to create it. Again, so almost I'm repeating the steps multiple times. I'm creating the 10 users for the same license. Assume that the requirement is for same license, we need to create a 10 users. If I want to create a for same license, if I wanted to create a 10 users, I'm almost repeating the steps. I'm almost repeating the steps. So when I'm repeating the steps here, which is instead of repeating the steps, what we can do is we can go for a option called add multiple users. Click on add multiple users. So by using this button, add multiple users, I can create a multiple users for the single license. Now, when I click on a add multiple users, it is going to give us the few information here. Now, what is the information? It is saying that you can create, the developer can create a identity user license, 110 identity users license, you can create it. Work.com, I can create a 3 licenses. Charter free, I can create a 4,999 licenses. Salesforce integration, I can create a 1 user, right? So partner app subscription, I can create a 2 users. And then force.com license, I can create a 2 users. Charter free, charter external users, I can create a 5 users. Right. Similarly, Salesforce platform user, I can create a, for this license, I can create a 3 users. Now, how about the Salesforce? Now, before it was a Salesforce license was used license is 1, remaining license is 1. But right now, if I refresh it, it will show me the information. The remaining ones are 0. Right. So the remaining license is 0. Used is 2 license. So that's the reason it is not showing me the Salesforce license here. Salesforce license it is not showing because Salesforce license is already done. We have already created the Salesforce license. Which one we have created right now? If you go to the users tab, we have created the one with June batch. Now let me show you that. Now if you go to the users tab, in the users tab, let's sort with license. Now here system administration. Now let's say here system administrator, I have a one and there is another one. Two system administrators are there. Two system administrators are there. Now that means these two are already use the license of Salesforce. So that's the reason we are not able to see the Salesforce license. Salesforce license we cannot see. Right? So now here, let's say that user license is, let's assume that I wanted to create a charter-free user. Or now there is so many users I can create a charter-free. Or else if I wanted to create a Salesforce platform user, you can create it. Let's say which are the license users, if you want to create it, you can create it. So here charter free is the license. I wanted to create a 3 users of the charter free. Now, maximum how many users can I create it? By default, it is saying that 10 users I can create it. But if you click on add more users, I can create a few more users. Once these 10 users are done, if you click on this add more users, it will show another 10 users. But by default, it is going to show the 10 users. Now, if you complete entering the 10 users, then only it will take you to the next page of 10 users. Next page of 10 users. Now, let's say I'm going to create a 3 users here. 3 users I'm going to create here.
Have insufficient balance. Recharge.
Now, let's say here first name is Neeraj and the last name is Reddy. Email is, let's say, username. Email is nothing but which is the same as a. Now here I do not have a email and username, both are different. Email and username both are different. But here, whenever I'm creating the add multiple user, it is combining the email and username. It is combining the email and username. So that means if I enter the email here, automatically username also the same. Automatically the username is also same. Let's say here nr@gmail.com profile is a charter-free user. Similarly, I'm going to create another user. Let's say here Rangaswamy. And then email address is rs@gmail.com. And the profile is, let's say, charter free. And the third user, I'm going to create a third user. Let's say Sri Lata. And the username is sl@gmail.com. And the profile is charter free user. Now I can create it 3 users at a time. Now this is the duplicate user, duplicate user, duplicate user. Might be these users are already there. Now let's say here NR12, RS12, and then SL12. And let's click on the save button. RS12 is also already there. So let's take it 10. Click on save. Now the 3 users are created. One is already available, charter expert. Now it is created the 3 users, right? Username is the NR12 and it's the same as a email ID. Email also same. Email also same. Here it says that verify. Now the one which I have created, the one Virat Kohli which I have created, if I open that Virat Kohli, If I say here Virat Kohli, this is also here showing the verify. The reason is whenever we create a user, there is a email that goes out to this particular email ID. There is some email ID that goes out to that particular email ID. Now in that email ID, now if I open that email, now this is the email which we have received it. Welcome to Salesforce and verify the account. Now if I say here verify account, right? So once I'm done with the verify account, let's click on a refresh. Now it is asking to reset the password, right? So let's say here, click on the reset password. Now let's say I'm just saying some password. Now you can select any question. Now change the password. This is for the user that we have logged in with this is the user Virat Kohli. Now we have logged in as a Virat
Hello?
Kohli.
जी अच्छा ये
Now,
रूट
please
कंसल्टेंसी
mute
है क्या?
yourself. So here the user is, this is the user. Now right now we have logged in as a Virat Kohli. Now this is the user. Let's log out. Now before it was showing the verify. Now if I click on a refresh, it says as a verified. Now here it says as a verified. That means verified is nothing but it's already verified with this email ID. Now in case if it is not verified, then what will happen is it will say that verify. It will say verify. That means it is yet to be verified that email address. Right? So it is saying that verified. If it is already done, then it will say verified. Now like that, you can create a multiple users for a single license. For single license, you can create a multiple users. At one shot or at one time, you can create a 10 users. If you want a more users, if you click on a add more users button, then you can create a more users. Now the next one is, now this is how we create a users. Now let's assume that if I wanted to, for example, there is a user. Now right now we have created the password for the Virat Kohli, right? Assume that there is a few members, they forgot their user, they forgot the password. Let's suppose Neeraj Reddy is forgot the password. Now, if they forgot the password or if they wanted to reset the password, if they want to reset the password, then how can we do it? Either you can click on this particular user. You can click on this particular user, just click on this reset password. Just click on this reset password. It will unlock the password and the user can reset. Whoever is the person will be there, they will receive the resetting the password. Or else if you wanted to do multiple user reset password. Now, for example, Neeraj Reddy, Swami, Srilatha, and Virat Kohli, these 4 people needs to have a reset password. Now select all these users and click on this reset passwords. Reset passwords. Now, if you wanted to do the reset password for the multiple users, now select whoever the users you wanted to reset the password, select this and click on this reset password. So what will happen is at a time, it will send the reset password email for all those users. All those users, it will send the reset password. So that means user will receive the email saying that there is a password need to be reset the password. Now, if the user click on that link, now what they will do is it will ask you to reset the password. That's about the reset the password, either for a single user or a multiple users Now there is another way. For example, you have 100 users. You have 100 users. All the users need to be reset the password. All user needs to be reset the password. If you want all the users to be reset the password, then we have a expire all passwords. Expire all password. That means whoever the users are there in the Salesforce, or if you want to expire all the passwords for everybody in the org, then simply check this checkbox and click on a save button. Check this checkbox and click on the save button. So what will happen is whoever the users are available within this, where the users are available, all the users' password will expire it. And do not do it in the real time. Don't do this option in the real time. If there is a requirement from the client side, then only go for it. It has to be a written communication, not in the verbal communication. Somebody has to write it and give it to you that you need to expire all the passwords inside the Salesforce. If somebody says that, then only you have to do it. Otherwise, don't touch this expire all passwords in real time at all. Okay. And the next one is password policies. Now, password policies is we have a different type of password policies. Now, wherever you go, whether it is a Salesforce credentials or whether it is a bank account credentials or a Amazon credentials or whether it is a some website, social media credentials, wherever you go, there is a certain format of the password. Certain format of the password. Now, how do we decide that certain type of the password? In the Salesforce, we have something called password policies. We have something called password policies. Now here it says that user password expiry on. User password expiry on. Now, what is this? This will give us the information. How long the time period do you want to expire this? Like that means after 90 days, expire the password of current password. Now, right now, today I have set the password. After 90 days, it will give me the alert. You need to reset the new password. Like that, what is the length of time? Length of time you need a user password should expire and user must change the password. Now, if you specify the 90 days on the 90th day or after the 90 days, right? If you have not opened the org on the 90th day, and if you open after 90th day, then what it will do is it will ask you to enter the new password. So this is the length of time until the user password is expired, right? And the next one is enforce password history. Enforce password history. Now this enforce password history is, now sometimes when you type the same password, right, whatever the previous password is there, now you are typing the same password. Should we allow that same previous password to accept or not? That means 3 passwords remember. That means what will happen? It will remember the last previous 3 passwords. And if you try to enter the last previous 3 passwords, then it will say that this password is already used. Please give the new password. If you say last 2 password, remember the last 2 passwords. Now, if you say last 2 passwords, remember it, then what will happen is it will remember only the last 2 passwords. Now, what are the after, like for example, you are doing it for the 4th time. Now, what are the previously you have done it, the same password you can give it. Only it will remember the last 2 passwords, right? So you can check last 2 passwords to be remember or a last 3 passwords to be remember. You can specify here. That means enforce the password history, the audit history, password Audit history. How many passwords you want the system to remember? Last 3 passwords or last 2 passwords or last 1 password, or do not remember any password. You can specify whatever you want. And the next one is minimum password length. Minimum password length. So the minimum number of characters, the minimum number of characters required for the password. Do you want the 8 minimum characters should be there? The password length 8 characters, could be anything, whether it is a numeric or alpha, could be anything, but it has to be length has to be a 8. Now, if you want only 3 character length, you can specify the 3 character, right? And then password complexity requirement. Complexity, like, do you want 1 alpha and 1 character, or you want 1 alpha and 1 character, or do you want 1 alpha? There should be a alpha, numeric, and special characters. There should be a special characters, or else there should be a number uppercase or a lower letter, or do you want a number uppercase, lowercase letters, or a special characters, or it should include the number uppercase. So it should follow the number, uppercase letter, lowercase letter, special characters. Which format do you want? The complexity do you want? Or do you want to, you don't want any restriction? Usually in the real time, what we will do is we will keep the alpha, numeric, and special characters, right? We will use the alpha, numeric, and special characters in the real time. And the next one is, in case if the user forgot the password. If they forgot the password and if they are trying to reset the password, do you want to cannot contain the password? Like do you want the password question requirement? Now, do you want the password question requirement should contain the password or do not contain the password? Right? Usually we will go for a cannot contain the password. And how many maximum invalid login attempts? Now, if they forgot the password, how many times do you want the user to try it? Usually, if it is a social media or some sites, they will maximum allow the 3 times. They will maximum allow the 3 times. Now, more than 3 times, if you try it, then the password will be logged. Now, here in the Salesforce, we are giving the 10 times attempt. It is up to you how many times you wanted to reset the password, right? And then maximum invalid login attempts is 10. If you want a 3, 5, no limit. If you want to keep it, that you can keep it. Now, lockout effective period. Lockout effective period is how long do you want to keep the system active? So, for example, you have gone for a break. You have gone for a lunch break. When you gone for a lunch break, for example, you went for a half an hour. When you went for a half an hour, do you want the Salesforce to be active till you back? Right? So, or else you can say here after 15 minutes, automatically lock out the session. Whatever the session is there, deactivate the session. And the secure answers for the password reset. If you wanted to secure the answer for the password resets, you can enable this. Require a minimum 1 day password lifetime. That means every day you need to reset the password. Now today, whatever the password you are using it, tomorrow it will not work. In that case, what we will do is require minimum, in case if you want that kind of a requirement that every day the password has to be changed, then you need to enable this. If you enable this, tomorrow if you try to log in, it will ask you to password does not work, or it says that username password does not work, you need to reset the password, right? It will say that tomorrow if you are trying it, it will say that either your username or password is not working. In that case, you need to reset the password. Allow use of a set password API for self itself. This is for the API purpose, not for anything. So these are the password policies. This is for the org level. This is for org level. Now in the org level, we have seen all this, right? Now take a notes of it. Done?
Yes.
Okay. So let's assume that now we will cover that part tomorrow. Take a assignment. We will cover this later. Now the assignment 1, now add a user where the subject is, now you need to add the user first name, Melissa, last name, David, and the user email is md@gmail.com. If this email is already available, try to change this md1, 2, or 3, 4@gmail.com. Access is the admin access you need to provide it. User mobile number is, you need to provide the user mobile number. This is the assignment 1. Take a notes of it. Let me know once it is done. Done? Okay. So next one is assignment 2. Create a 10 new users in Salesforce for the charter-free license. And these are the usernames. Email ID, you can specify any email ID, but it has to be a unique. So second assignment is you need to create a 10 users for the license called charter-free license. While creating the first name, last name, email ID, specify the email, and profile should be the charter-free user. Charter-free profile. Is it done? Okay. Interview questions. What is profile? What is role? What is user in Salesforce? Can admin team create the user without profile? Can admin team create the user without profile? Can admin team create the user without user license? What is license? What is user license in Salesforce? How many licenses are linked to? How many licenses are linked to user? Can we select profile without selecting the license? Can admin team create? Can admin team create a user without role? What are the mandatory information while creating the user? What are the password policies? How to expire? What is expire all passwords? When should admin team perform this action? How many profiles linked to user? How to reset password for multiple users? What are the different licenses in Salesforce? And what is the purpose of each license? What is the purpose of each license? These are the questions, interview questions. That's all for today.